Titus.
And thank you, Joby. Thank you so much. Two-timer lang ako, Joby. So
Okay.
that's what I do for a living. So good evening, everyone. I will speak in English for the entire duration of the program. Looks like we have someone here who probably does not understand Tagalog. So that means I will have a nosebleed at the end of the day. I will try to be able to cover as much as I actually can. But you guys probably have gone through what they call a burnout period. Everybody goes through it. So let me share to you my screen and talk about the most important part about this training program. By the way, I used to be the HR head of one of the largest university in Metro Manila, that's based in Recto. So I stayed there for quite some time. Also, I did a training program and became a training director for Manila Ocean Park, the happiest center in Metro Manila. So we're going to talk about something that will help you in your own career. And also what you went through in the last several months, because it was really a moment for us to be able to go to those events. We were hit by pandemic for a couple of years that changed our life. I called myself an OFW in my own country because for over about 400, 500 days, I never stepped out of my community. And that was stressful for someone who goes around that I always feel tired at the end of the day, even if I'm not exposed as I did before in my life. Let me cover maybe some of you have heard this lady before. During the last Olympics, she bungled her events. And she went through an emotional thing because she was burnt out. And she was almost at the peak or at the point of quitting. But I think she won a bronze medal at the end of the day, or at the end of the event. She's still an American artistic gymnast with a combined total of 32 Olympic and World Championship medals. Biles is the most decorated gymnast in the generation, winning 7 Olympic medals, one of the greatest in our time, and yet she experienced a burnout. It became a talk of the town in the States, and also it changed a lot of the ways that the sports people manage their own people organization. And then there is Osaka Noemi. She's a Japanese who became a professional tennis player. She was ranked #1 by the Women's Tennis Association and the first Asian player to hold the top ranking in singles. 4-time Grand Slam singles champion, and she quit in one of her events because of burnout. And so that means no one is immune to being burnout, no matter where you are. You may be the top athlete of the world, or you may be just a mother, or you may be an employee. Everybody suffers that kind of inconvenience, as some people actually show it. What is burnout, by the way? The term burnout is a relatively new term coined in 1974. Pierre Dunberg, I think I got that name right, the high cost of high achievement. He really defined burnout as the extinction of motivation or incentive, especially where one's devotion to a cause or relationship falls or fails to produce the desired results. You are simply burned out. This happens many times for the people who work on night shift. That's the reason why there must be from time to time you must be able to convert on a daytime basis, because the sleep on daytime is different than the sleep on nighttime. Iba yung tulog sa araw, iba yung tulog sa gabi. And that's something that you cannot get out or away from. I had a moment in time where I worked for about 6 months under a different time zone. And I got sick and I quit my work because I couldn't handle it anymore. I simply missed daytime, and I couldn't even figure out where I have to be able to close all curtains to be able to mimic nighttime in my own room. And that's very difficult because my room was not isolated or insulated from noise. So I still hear the jeepneys going outside. I couldn't sleep. Burnout is a term which is frequently used to describe emotional and physical exhaustion. By the way, emotional exhaustion is not classified as a disease. That's the reason why when you are emotionally drained, it is not refundable when it comes to the insurance, health insurance, as far as I know. So there's a problem there. Experienced by people as the direct result of excessive study or work-related stress. Burnout can cause significant physical, emotional, psychological, and spiritual damage to people. My temper was low after about 400 days of being cooked inside home. And I thought for a while I was getting old. That's true, by the way. I'm not getting any younger. But at the same time, I felt the stress was getting into me. And I need to read this book again because I have to be able to find something that will actually make me bounce back from where we are for almost about 400 to 500 days. What are the causes of burnout? Work-related causes of burnout. If you're doing something that you don't like, that will speed up the burnout rate. If you're working in an environment that basically are hostile to you or are not friendly for business or labor, then it will speed up the burnout rate. Your lifestyle causes also a burnout. Like if you are living in a very hectic environment, like for the guys who work in Metro Manila, you always chase transportation on the morning and chase it again at night, and you literally spend more hours on the road than on your bed. And that's for sure. Because when I started to count how much time did I spend in my bed, I realized I spent a total of 5 hours. And yet my travel time was close to about 6 to 7 hours per day. You can imagine that one. I did that for almost about 6 or 5 days in a week. And personality traits can contribute to burnout. If your personality is basically someone who is a choleric person and you want things done, and people are not responding to you immediately because your expectation is quite high, then it becomes a problem for you. Not only for you, but also for the people that you actually work with. Remember, if you have a burnout and you work in a community, they also suffer because of what you're suffering. So there it is then. Now let's take a look at this one. Work-related cause of burnout. Feeling like you have little or no control over your work. That's a problem. That's the reason why there must be a time that you have to be able to figure out for yourself, am I in the right job? What's in it for me in what I'm doing? How long can I do this one? There was a time that someone approached me about something that I've never heard before, like, Titus, are you looking for a business? That's a long time ago. And I said, June, I'm looking for a bed to sleep because I've been working for 5 years, straight 12 hours a day, even during holidays. So there it is, you have no control over time. There was also a time I almost died because of fatigue. I was really burned out. I passed out in the middle of a training program. I was only a substitute because the person who was I substituted for also suffered tremendous health challenges. And it actually knocked me off my feet also because we cannot replace anymore the people that were getting sick. The lack of recognition rewards for good work. As you progress along the way, when you're nearing your deadline, then the pressure pounds on you. It adds to your daily life. Especially if the work is you're not only the person doing it, but you're also relying on the performance of other people who are not contributing to the work that they are supposed to do. Then it burns you out faster. Unclear or overlying demanding job expectations. My biggest problem when I actually started working with the university is my inability to say no. Listen to me, guys. Inability to say no. Whatever they gave me, I accept it with all heart. And I never complained about it. And it really got me. At the end of the day, I was really fatigued. I lost weight. Even if I'm in bed, my mind is in the work. When I'm at work, my mind is in bed. So you could imagine I couldn't do anything perfect for almost about 18 months. Doing work that's monotonous and challenging. That's the reason why I hated accounting. I'm a CPA by background, by the way. And I hate balancing other people's books or worrying about someone else's money. So I am probably the only person that I know who became a CPA and never renewed this license. We had a fight with my mom. She told me, what the hell did you do? After going to 4 years of college and review course, only to stay at CPA for 1 year. I said, Mommy, I do not like it. And I never heard the end of it, by the way. Working is an unorganized or high pressure environment. That's happened to the guys who work in information technology. It's really high pressure, especially if the customer is very demanding. They gave you a timetable. You give them some things that they have to respond to, and they did not. And yet they're asking for the moon and the stars. You realize that it can burn you out almost immediately. You feel the pressure. I was 30 years old at some point in time. I felt I was 65. And it shows in my body. I got sick very early. Working too much without enough time for relaxing, the socialization, lifestyle causes, there it is. Now you have to balance things also. You must learn to say no and be kind to yourself. Being expected to be too many things to too many people. Again, it boils down to basically your inability to say no. That's me, by the way. I'm talking about myself. If you are unable to say no, you will hate yourself in the end. Because you felt that basically everyone is dumping their work on you. The crazy part of being effective and efficient is people pass on all the work to you. And they actually give some sort of leeway to the guys who are inefficient. And I find that one horrible because they dump all the work to me because I'm able to deliver. And to me, that actually, but the thing is, I could not say no. That's the reason why it caught up on me. Taking on too many responsibilities without enough help from others. I'm also a type of person who, when I get excited, I forget about time and rest. And I do it until I drop dead. I almost did. So the thing is, the issue that is basically is make sure you're able to not do everything all by your lonesome. One of the skills that you have to be able to acquire is to be able to find another you so that you are able to duplicate yourself. If you're not able to duplicate yourself, you are booked for the rest of your life. Not getting enough sleep, that's the biggest problem a lot of people right now. Not because not because of you, the issue that you want to take yourself to bed. And here's the case here. When you're in bed, your mind is at work. When you're at work, you like to go to bed. They do not seem to be able to come together at the same point. So you really miss sleep. And when you talk to our doctors in the team, they will tell you sleep is something that you program. You make it part of your life. It is not a luxury. It is a requirement of your body. Lack of close supportive relationship. There it is. If you do not find a team that actually gives you a go, Titus, you can do that one, you're dead. Because they're always looking at you and said, oh, what did you do? What happened to this one? And they're always looking at basically the things that you failed to do, but they were not appreciative of what you did accomplish. And then that will cause you to experience burnout. Think more, let's move on. Personality traits can contribute to burnout. Perfectionist tendencies, nothing is ever good enough. That's my problem, one of my problems. When I create a PowerPoint presentation, if I look at it the following day, I will not like it. Always the case. So if I fix it, and then I put it to rest, and then when I look at it again the following day, I still will not like it. I'll find something wrong with it. That's me. So I decided to be one day said, when I'm done, I am done. It took me quite some time to be able to put that in proper perspective because nothing seems to be, I am the biggest, what they call this, critic of myself. Pessimistic view of yourself and the world. It comes to a point in time when people are actually buying you with negative, you start to believe what people are saying to you. So that's the reason why it's very important you actually put yourself in a position where you are among people who are positive in nature. Avoid negative people because they're looking for someone to blame. They will drag you down. the need to be in control, reluctant to delegate to others because you're feeling that whatever I am doing, I'm good at it. Nothing else no one is better than me. That's very bad for a person. If you're feeling that way, you will never be able to, you will always be a slave of yourself. You will not be a good manager. You are actually covering for everyone's mistake. You're not leading, you're managing everyone. And high achieving type A personality. There it is. I brought this up sometimes several times already. Let's take a look at another aspect there. 7 signs of burnout and how to fix it. The first one, insomnia. Trouble falling asleep, trouble staying asleep, trouble falling back to sleep. The thing is, you are always bothered by the small things that happen in your life. When the people have been telling me, when you go to bed, leave the work in the office. When you're in the office, leave the bed behind you. But you are not able to differentiate it because you are too tired to be able to master yourself. That's the reason why insomnia needs to be cured. If you don't cure that one, you will actually acquire more diseases that your body can handle. The second part is yung chronic fatigue. Persistent fatigue accompanied by other specific symptoms for a minimum of 6 months. You are tired, but you don't know why you're tired. You've been sitting the entire day and you still feel exhausted. Not due to ongoing exertion, but everything now is compounding on you. Not substantially relieved by rest. There it is. You have to be able to find time to be able to take a rest. That should be part of your program every day. It is not a luxury. You don't find it only when it's convenient. You make it part of your daily routine, not caused by other medical conditions. When I often go to a doctor and they tell me, Titus, you're in good health for someone your age. Well, why am I tired? And I said, Titus, you don't sleep enough. And I asked, do you sleep 8 hours a day? What 8 hours are you talking about? I'm lucky to be able to get 5 or 6 hours in a day. So there it is. The most important part, that the lesson you're going to learn today is find time to sleep. It's a requirement of your body. You also you are forgetfulness or impaired concentration attention. This is experienced by seniors like me. You're doing something, you go to it, and then you realize you have to finish something and you go there. You forget what you're doing in A and you're in B. When you're in B, you thought, I have to do something on C. And then all of a sudden you forgot A and B and now you're working on C. At the end of the day, you were so tired, you never accomplished A, B, C. Why? Because you are impaired in your concentration. Why? Because your body is trying to tell you, slow down, baby, get some rest, and just focus on taking a rest at some point in time. There it is. Psychosomatic illness. It also, that's what we call, sometimes you're given a placebo to be able to cure yourself. Nothing is there. It's a placebo. But just to be able to make your mind think you're taking a medicine when in fact you're not ill. A psychosomatic illness is something, an illness of the mind. It always happens when you're flu because you're tired. When you have a slight fever, it's because you're tired. All your body, when you're feeling very down, it's because you emotionally have given up on yourself already. That's what we call psychosomatic illness. How do you cure that one? Take a rest. Slow down. I'm speaking for myself. The loss of appetite. People, those who are trying to lose weight said, can I have this one, please? The loss of appetite. The loss of appetite means when you're eating something, but you're only eating you're just doing it out of because you have to. There's got to have something in your stomach so that you can take your vitamins. But the food doesn't taste as supposed to taste. So you have a loss of appetite. So the body is not gaining from what you're eating. So that becomes a problem also when you are burned out already. And of course, the anxiety issues. You became warrior. You were never a warrior before. You were a happy-go-lucky guy. and all of a sudden you feel the problems of the world is bearing on you. You have to cover a lot of issues. You have to be the person, that go-to person. You have to solve a lot of issues, and that's where the anxiety actually comes in. Why? Because you decided to take the problems of the world all on your shoulder. That's where anxiety comes in. You know, you are going to this tense moment in your life. And of course, anger and depression. People around you suffer when you are burnout because you used to be in control. They do not know why you're angry. They do not know why you're depressed. I had a sister before, when she wakes up in the morning, she will sit down on the stairs and just cry. We do not understand why she was crying, but the thing is, why in the world, why she is crying and she cannot explain to us why she's crying. And we realized that basically at a very young age, she was already burned out. So that's where it is right now. And then hold on for a while. And also when you're not able to control yourself, you're depressed, you're angry, a lot of people are affected. Please remember that one. They will actually suffer because of your inability to cure yourself. The other part that we have to focus on is this one. The burnout fixers. Of course, now you understand where you're coming from. How do I fix these son of a gun things in my life? How do you fix that one? Behavior. Pace yourself. Boost your professional and personal growth by developing a healthy performance space. Do not bite more than what you can actually chew. Also, when you say you pace yourself in behavior, is at the best, whatever is most important, you do it at the start of the day. And at the end of the day, when your energy starts to reduce itself, that's where you actually have to rate your work sequences. So when your energy is high, you take the most important job of the day because you need attention on that aspect. And you put the least at the end of the day. Now, how do you do that one? You have to be able to describe this one to your boss because your boss does not understand your body cycle. There are people who are morning people. There are people who are evening persons. I am a morning person. My best time of the day is sometime between 10 o'clock until about 6 or 7. By this time, I'm fogged out already. But because I take some vitamins and also I'm also be able to find with the right kind of people, I'm able to pace myself, extend the energy level a little bit more. By the way, I'm almost 70 years old. I only feel like 69 because of basically what the program has done for me. Manage energy, not time. Again, you must be aware of how much energy your body holds. It's the same way as you manage the fuel tank. If your capacity is 45 liters, then you must be able to manage your trip at 45 liters before refueling. The same thing with your body. You must be able to understand your body more so that you are at some point in time, when you are already at the zero level of gasoline, you pause for a while, do something different, talk to other people, maybe eat a little bit, or maybe get some energy by looking outside and looking at things that are actually green or beyond the doorways or the glass door of your window. Again, going back, please remember this one, manage energy, not the time. Because not everybody will work 8 hours. But if you're a manager, please be aware of this one so that you are able to maximize performance of your team. I did this one to a team that actually has been paying to meet. I remember about sa Manila Ocean Park a long time ago. When I came to that program, there were 10 people who were what you call account executives. No one has met quota. The highest was, I think, 87%. When I learned from the CCG environment, I started to implement there. At the end of the first year, 60% made quota. The remaining 4, actually, the minimum is 93%. You could imagine. Our revenue rose from 4 times in 1 year. By the way, that was bad because I created a program that will replace me. Some of you are actually laughing because when I was being interviewed by the owner of the company, I told, Mr. Manuel, what are you planning to do? What are your program? And I told the guys, I told the head, by the way, he was a military man who worked with Citibank, who was based in Singapore, and said, Mr. Manuel, please. I told this guy, gentleman, I create a program that will replace me. And this was the first time he heard of it. He was impressed. And true enough, after 2 years, the program replaces me. So they did not hire me again on the 3rd year. Congratulations, Titus. You hit yourself on the head again. And then, of course, unhealthy thoughts. Cognitive, rid yourself unhealthy thoughts and patterns. If you've been burned out before, you've been to difficult times, forget about those things. It will not help you anymore. Now, it's difficult to be able to shake off the killing. But the most important part is you need to be able to listen to some music. Without playing any music, you play it in the background. You sing a few notes for you, even if other people are not hearing it. And it will change your life. I do that every time, by the way. I talk to myself also by myself so that other people will not laugh at me. I also talk to the walls. It's a good thing the walls do not respond back. So the good thing about that one is we are able to shake off the unhealthy thoughts. So at the end of the day, you're still able to perform regardless of your conditions from the day you actually start on the hour you start working. Leisure, engage in leisure activities. You've got to have a break. It cannot be that you are actually be able to you have to change environment from time to time. That was not possible for us during the lockdown period because travel was banned. And the burnout period was very, very high. And we saw that one. By the way, I ran a computer company that was actually working in a partnership with Globe. And really, we were at work from home prior to pandemic. So we were kind of prepared way ahead of time. But the bad things, we never saw each other for close to about 1.5 years. The good things, we never saw each other for about 1.5 years. So there was a good and bad side of it. But the reality is basically we're able to invent leisure in our own way. You can use your imagination. If you cannot travel, let your mind travel. Read good books, listen to beautiful music, get inspired by other people's stories, listen to their stories. It will rejuvenate you. Strengthen social wellness. And why is this importante? Social wellness is also the relationship with other people. You'll never know when you're going to need other people's help. You are not an island. No matter how brilliant you are, you need other people. You need other people's energy. You find people who will add value to you. Find people who are better than you. Find people who actually have the energy that you actually, this is what they call there's a symbiotic relationship with those people and you. Or there's a transfer of energy from one person to another. Even if it's done virtually, it can be done virtually. And words to live by, I'm almost through and done with this one. Let's take a lot of words to live by. What on earth am I here for? The purpose-driven life. If you don't know why you are here, you'll never be happy. Unfortunately, some people die and they never found their true meaning in life. The happiest people on earth are the people who found what they're here for. If you are able to find this out, you will never compare yourself with other people. You will be happy with your own set of performances because you achieve what you're basically doing on a daily basis. There's something here that I am not able to put, but there's one thing that you are able to, a very classic example that was given by a military gentleman to all the soldiers said, when you wake up in the morning, do your bed, fix your bed. So that if you mess up the entire day, when you go back to bed, you're going to a bed that's already fixed. And you will find pleasure in accomplishing at least one in one day. A very nice suggestion coming from that military guy. Burnout is what happens when you try to avoid being human for too long. That's for sure. So it's very important for you guys to be able to understand that we're humans. We're going to make mistakes. Be kind to yourself. There will be times that we try to be kind to other people too. Please remember this also. Everyone can be pushed to the point of incompetence. If you reach your burnout period, what follows is something that you will regret later on. So that you're able to minimize the mistakes, especially if they're going to be fatal. Make sure you don't reach your burnout stage, and take time to be able to try to remember you're a human being. If you're a boss, remember your people are human beings. They're not machines. Here it is. If you feel burnout setting in, if you feel demoralized and exhausted, it's best for the sake of everyone to withdraw and restore yourself. What you do will affect other people. They're both correct. So make sure that you stay in tip-top shape. You're able to manage yourself so that at the end of the day, you add value to other people, not stress them out or burn them out also. Because at the end, if you're all burned out, you will accomplish nothing. You will be at each other's deck. Friendly reminder that doing your best does not mean working yourself to the point of mental breakdown. Try to understand where is your breaking point. You know where that is. Your body is designed to be able to send message to you that is where to say enough is enough. Slow down, baby. Take a rest. Go to the CR. Take a break. Talk to someone. Listen to music. And then you can go back to your job again. I hope I have added value to your life tonight.